What's up, guys? So, we're gonna clean some carpet. Are you ready? Already did a vacuum. Didn't show it. Sorry, forgot to. I guess it wasn't recording when I thought it was. You know, it happens. But right now, I'm going ahead and doing the pre-spray. So this is customer uses me quite often. They have pets, well, a pet, and this pet really likes to go. She's an elderly lady, and it's her company, and cutest dog in the world, but just likes to go throughout this hallway and a little bit into the living room. And so I'm just doing the Green Rhino cocktail. So yeah, to do a proper pet treatment, or just to clean carpet, really, it's really good to agitate, especially if you see heavily soiled areas. All right, so whether you have a CRB, which is this type of machine, or maybe just a broom scrubber, something you can get for 20 bucks. It'll work. More manual labor, but it'll work. But scrubbing all the solution into the carpet, really, it just makes a better clean, but easier rinse. All right, you're gonna rinse everything out a lot easier. Okay, you're gonna be able to whip right through the carpet. Now, if you don't do a good scrub, some of these soiled areas may not come up as easy with the first pass, so you might have to do another pass. So basically, that's the reason why pre-scrubbing is good, guys, in general, and especially in pet treatments. Right, we want to get the solution in there, right, deep into the fiber. That way, it kills the odor, and as well gets rid of these stains that urine tends to make, organic type of stains. All right, water hose, little pressure gauge right here if you got problems with your valve or your float in your water box. Slow motion stuff. My helpers, they usually have a hard time pulling hoses. That's how I do it. And then what I do is it's about 12 loops, 10 or 12 loops, and it usually gets to the end of most single family homes. Walk it out to you up to the front door or close to it and just start dropping. Easy. All right, so this is how I pull my hoses. And I did learn this from TMF. All right, so you grab it like this. Statue of Liberty. Pull it out. Go about to your little below your knee. Grab it. Wrap it around. Hang it. Pull that a little bit more till it goes open all your knee. Hang it. So go over the outside of your hand. That's how you do it. You do that about 10 times. You get to back to most single family homes. Well, you walk it out first, whatever the distance is that you think the front door is. Alright, these things are meant to, the lint that comes up from the carpet, to catch it so it doesn't get into your waste tank. They have a tray in there too, most of them, but it's better to catch it beforehand. Alright, sometimes, we tend to get lazy and not use it, and I'm guilty of that sometimes, but makes life a lot easier. It's easier to clean this out than it is tray in there. All right, we're setting it up about 450 for the PSI. That's the water that comes out of the wand. And if you're looking to get into the business, I got resources for you. GreenRhinoAcademy.com. You can check that out. Links underneath the video. And if you're already in the business and you just need business growth tools, there's plenty down there too. So check that out. But right now we're doing the rinse. All right, this is the final step. This is the rinse. It's very important to have the PSI set at the proper setting, because if you don't, you're going to have problems. Customers are not going to be happy. So it really affects how fast you move the wand too. So PSI is very important. Now, if you got a portable, you're not going to be able to move as fast with the wand as as I'm doing here, because also the vacuum's very, very good on the truck mount, so it's going to recover that water. So there's a lot of factors, right, with this step, and it is one of the most important steps, of course, because this is where you're going to see the final results. But the steps before it are just as important, all right? So including the chemistry itself, right? So yeah. It takes us a while to get really good at this. In a lot of cases, you need a good teacher. All right. Hey, that's me. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this up and get the amazing results, like always on this home. As you can tell, I move kind of fast sometimes. Right. That's just dry passes. So what I'm doing is going back over without putting solution down or the water down, and just picking up the most moisture possible. Okay, another way you could do it is, if you're really concerned about dry times, or the customer is to go back over it with a bonnet, the VLM type of method. Help speed up the dry time. And then fans on high, and heat at a temperature between 68, 72 degrees, what I recommend, or even warmer. I say a warm, comfortable degrees, and a lot of air movement is going to get these carpets to dry the quickest. Okay, I know there's people out there saying, yeah, they can get carpets dry in a half hour. That's hogwash. Don't fall for that. Not bad. Good vacuum. All right, so the only thing people ask me, how do you like the new Ray-Ban AI glasses? I love them in a lot of ways, but I don't like them in some ways, like editing. You got 3 minutes on it, which, it's a decent amount. But when you go to upload your images into your editing software, they're all unorganized. So you have to spend a lot of extra time trying to organize these things, rather than if you just record off your phone, it is organized. So you just can select in a row, and that'll, put them into the program nice and orderly. So it saves you a lot of time. That's one thing I don't like about it. All right, a lot of people fail to do when they're wrapping everything up. See the bee's nest? If you always pull this one first, it's gonna weed itself out. But if you make the mistake pulling the solution hose first, it's all gonna get knotted up. Very important, guys. See that? Weeds itself out. That'll save you about an hour a week. All right, that's a wrap for this job. Customer calls me about once every 4 months, and this is the last job of the day. Okay, this is sectional. I think this is a 6-seater, and all cushions are removable, so it's a lot of work. Okay, luckily this wasn't that bad at all. The air, so a couple soiled areas from the dog rubbing up against it, but Yeah, 350 bucks, and it took me about an hour to do it. So yeah, carpet cleaners can clean upholstery, hardwood floor, tile. Yeah, you can do a lot. See you in the next one.